So we got a couple of major reports this morning from the Knicks. The first being that the Mavericks denied the Knicks' request to interview Jason Kidd, which essentially meant the Knicks asked the Mavs if they could hire Jason Kidd, if you guys didn't know. The second one, which is more important, is that Shams reported that the Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant's business partner Rich Kleiman are sorting through trade options with interested teams mainly featuring Houston, San Antonio, Minnesota, Miami, and New York. Now, if you guys didn't see the report, the Knicks did make an offer for Kevin Durant at the deadline. There was mutual interest. KD wanted to be in New York, but ultimately he decided to stay in Phoenix to finish out the rest of his season. And now here we go. He's going to be traded within the next couple of weeks. I think the Knicks makes the most sense as you take a look at the other teams like Minnesota. They're in the Western Conference Finals. Houston, they were the 2 seed. There's some good teams. But the Knicks are truly a piece away from a championship. They were that close. They were 2 wins away from the finals. Not to mention that game 1, as we all know, was a complete choke job. 9-point lead with a minute left. You bring in Durant, all of a sudden our offense gets completely fixed. I don't think offense was why we lost, but the half-court offense was very, very predictable. A lot of one-on-one. I think Durant definitely could solve a lot of those issues as his ability to shoot the basketball. And of course, if the Knicks get stale, they can just throw it down to him on the block and he's automatic. But the biggest thing here isn't even the offense. The offense will be phenomenal. Brunson and Durant would be ridiculous. But it's going to be the defense. As Durant is a good defender. Everyone talks about he's the best scorer, but Durant's a good two-way player, especially at protecting the rim. You're not going to be picking on Kevin Durant in the pick and roll like the Pacers were doing with Cat. So if Durant comes in here, all of a sudden the Knicks defense gets significantly better. I mean, KD, OG, McHale, and Mitchell Robinson, you're not scoring on that. There's just no way that's happening. Now all of a sudden there's only one weak link, and that's Jalen Brunson, which is fine. You can have one weak link. We've seen tons of teams win championship, like Steph Curry, for example. The Warriors were able to win a championship, or actually multiple championships with him out there, and he was like probably just as good of a defender as Brunson. And you look at the numbers, Durant, everyone's going to talk about he's 37, he's making $54.7 million. But what about the fact that he's coming off of a season where he averaged 26.6 points, 6 rebounds, and 4.2 assists in 62 games? I mean, Durant has averaged at least 25, 50% shooting, and 40% from 3 in 3 straight seasons, the longest streak ever in the NBA. So to say that he's 37, I just don't understand how that's even an argument, because the Knicks, again, they're a piece away from winning a championship. If the Knicks win next year's championship with Kevin Durant, nobody's going to give a shit that he's 37 years old. And also, if Durant does come to the Knicks, which I honestly think he will, he's going to sign an extension. So the Knicks are going to have him for at least 2 more seasons. He's got this year, and then they'll probably give him a 2-year deal on top of that, which would be up to $112 million. If you go to July 6th, if he waits 6 months, he could do a 2-year extension worth up to $124 million. I don't think Durant would wait 6 months. I think he would just take the 112. So now all of a sudden, you got Durant, again, locked up, which is great. Knowing that, hey, look, we don't just have next year to win championship, we've got the year after that. I kind of like that. Karl-Anthony Towns is 29. He's entering the 2nd year of a Supermax contract with the Knicks, of course. He's got a $53.1 million cap hit next season that rises to $61 million in 27-28. I mean, the Knicks are going to have to trade Cat to go get Durant. And Durant pretty much has all the leverage here because, for example, if he doesn't want to go to the Heat, well, he can just say, I'm not signing an extension, and the Heat aren't getting him. So Durant is going to force his way. And this has been reported. I'm not just making it up. Like, this is reported that Durant wants to pick where he goes. Already has mutual interest with the Knicks. They're, to me, by far the best team on this list. And it just makes all the sense in the world. In terms of Karl-Anthony Towns, he's a lot younger. He's almost 10 years younger than Kevin Durant, which is, I think, the biggest argument people are going to make is that if you keep Cat, you have a longer window. I feel like the Knicks are just in that window already where they have a couple of years to get this done. So that's why I don't really mind the Durant trade. I think he's just a better player too. And yeah, sure, Cat's a better rebounder. Do the Knicks really need rebounding when they've got Mitchell Robinson, they've got Ariel Hukporti? They're not bringing back Achua according to multiple reports. But I don't think rebounding is going to be a big problem because Josh Hart, OG, McHale, like these guys can rebound. The issue is just going to be the offense and how does it run with both Cat and Brunson, and then the defense was just a liability. So I think you could honestly argue that the Knicks offense would be better with KD and Brunson, and then I think the defense would be significantly better. So to me, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, and I don't want to scapegoat Cat and be like, he's the reason we lost. But I do think that if the Knicks had KD instead of Cat against the Pacers, we would have won. And I get game 3, Cat was the reason. But also, like, the defense, the IQ, Cat just drop coverage and just giving them open threes or getting beat to the basket. That's kind of my thing as well, is that that's not going to happen with a Kevin Durant. And I do hope we get him, to be honest with you. I just think it raises our ceiling. I mean, guys, Kevin Durant he's still the best scorer in the league. I mean, the numbers back it up. I'll tell you guys the numbers in case anybody wants to argue. I don't even think it's close. I mean, Durant, on jumpers, he was the best, 49.7%, including off the dribble jumpers, 50.9%, and on mid-range shots, 53.1%. So you get the best scorer, the best shooter. You get a better defender. Durant can still rebound. And he's 37. He's not like he's 40. I mean, he's still going to have a couple of years of being at this level. And again, it just makes the Knicks a better team. I'm not really too concerned with the age because, again, essentially the Knicks traded Dante DiVincenzo, Julius Randle, and a first for Kevin Durant, which I would have done that. I would have done it for Cat, and I would have done it for Durant. So now all of a sudden, you remove Cat. Okay, fine. You get Durant, Brunson at the 1, Mikal at the 2. And then at the 3, actually, I don't think Hart's not going to be starting. So it would be Brunson, it would be Mikal, and that would be OG, and then it would be Durant, and then it would be Mitchell Robinson. That's a really good team. You can't tell me that Brunson, Mikal, Hart, OG, and Cat is better. I don't agree. And off the bench, you got Tug Porty, you'd have Josh Hart, and Deuce McBride, and DeLon Wright, and Landry Shamet. I like this a lot. I hope the Knicks honestly do make this move, because if the Knicks were to list Cat, I mean, what would they even get? They're not going to get a player better than him. I don't even know if anybody would even trade for Cat, like give up much. So the fact you can move him and get Kevin Durant, and even if Durant, let's say he does play for 2 years and then he retires, well, that money opens up. The Knicks can just go on free agency and bring in another name. So 2 years of a legit shot at a championship, a better shot at a championship, and then after that, just use the money in free agents. I mean, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm doing it, man. I don't care if I get hate. I want Durant. I want Durant right now. Pause.
There's going to be some level of change to this Knicks roster. Now, do you go for a landmark player? Do you try to look into Giannis Antetokounmpo? Do you look at Kevin Durant? On Kevin Durant, I will say this. The Knicks, there was some mutual interest between Kevin Durant and the Knicks at the trade deadline. The Knicks made an offer for Kevin Durant at the NBA trade deadline. Obviously, there was no Kevin Durant trade. We'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks.
Do you believe the New York Knicks should be willing to do what it takes to trade for Kevin Durant to try and put them into the championship?
Of course you have to do whatever it takes. It's cinema. You get Kevin Durant into the Mecca, into the Garden. What is that not only going to do for the NBA and the fans,